And then Tony from the Bronx versus the loser of the next series. Let's take a quick look. Elite, Jamili, Peekaboo, and Starship are going up against Method Orange, Venruki, Mez, Borngood, and SSDS. So we have that Walking Dead cleave. We got that Turbo as well, going up against Tempo Storms, RMD, or God Comp, or my assumptions. So what compositions that we're going to be seeing out of these teams? But what do you expect to see?
RMD, Windwalker, DK, Holy Paladin.
Really? You think they're going to go with the RMD first?
Yep. Oh, maybe you're going to prove me wrong. Oh, this could be an interesting mind game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Windwalker, DK, Holy Paladin, I've seen in the past, does fairly well against a lot of RMDs.
You know what would be smart? This is the smart play. And Venruki has a druid, and he was actually asking me like what he would run against God Comp, and I was thinking, why does he need to run against God Comp? And I'm like, Jamili's team probably more than surely expects Windwalker DK, right? Because Mez, that's his main, that's Venruki's main. Borngood's comfortable, but they would never expect Turbo.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing that I'm thinking. Like, if they go God Comp, you're gonna see a Turbo versus a God Comp, right?
Yeah, there's no way they play Windwalker DK. That's suicide.
So, like, if they're going to be... So, both of these teams are kind of having a mind game right now in their blind pick. If we see RMD from Tempo Storm, Method Black wants to play Windwalker DK. If you see God Comp from Tempo Storm, Method Black wants to play Turbo Cleave. Now, but Turbo Cleave isn't their mains, you know what I mean? But here we go. We're going to find out what it is that they're going to be playing right away. And we're going to jump right into it. It's in the Grand Arena. Welcome everybody to the Grand Arena. It's Tempo Storm versus Method Orange. Tempo Storm coming out with that God Comp. They want to get the advantage against the Windwalker DK, and Method Orange is going to do just that. They're going to run that Windwalker DK, but if you can see, this is a full Horde team. They are all running Blood Elf. They are all running that Interrupt.
The pretty Princess Blood Elf team here, man. Triple Blood Elf. I'm curious to see how the extra silences help them get a kill here. Are they going to play that all-in strat on Elite like we saw yesterday Vincent Wong's team was doing? Or are they just going to play it back defensively, try and just attrition their fight here? Peekaboo already landing a triple fear, and that's not looking good early on here for Method Orange. Venruki trying to turn it around with a leg sweep over onto Peekaboo. Elite already sacrificing, though, reducing a lot of that damage. Mez getting set up on now with that full Horrify into the silence, unable to AMS. Double Ice Nova coming out, a lot of pressure from Tempo Storm early on, but now the AMS has been used. The setup has been thwarted by Method Orange. Now this is when they need to go full Hodge over onto Elite, who is going to be their primary target. Looks like they're just not going to leave the pillar right now, just playing really turtly, really defensive. Venruki actually traded his trinket there, so he doesn't want to overextend and get bursted down here now with Deep Freeze being available. And it looks like Method Orange are going to go for that attrition playstyle. Peekaboo sees that, runs in again, and lands a full triple fear. They're looking for a setup on a Venruki here. He could be in a lot of trouble. He's going to go right back to the pillar, but Jamili's already right there, blinking right into his face and clotheslining him. Full Hodge now over on Venruki. Borngood is going to trinket and dispel him out of that Hodge, but now he's going to eat another Polymer. Still so much damage. He's going to throw out the Karma. That gets bopped off immediately. Still a lot of pressure onto Venruki. Aura Mastery forced out from Borngood, and suddenly they have no CDs remaining, and Method Orange are on the back foot immensely.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that trinket, the execution sentence, the karma, it's a big deal. But Method Orange, I feel like if they're going to take a win off of a Mage Holy Paladin composition, they got to bring it to a late game. But can they get there in time? Tempo Storm has the crazy setups, and as I say that, the fear goes out onto Born. Venruki just trying to line a sight from these guys here. The sap goes out onto DJ Peekaboo. The leg sweep out of it. Venruki just desperately trying to stay alive here. He wants to get the late game. Hodge from Elite going out as well as the denounces, as Borngood is just constantly being CC'd over and over. Venruki could be in trouble here. The Horrify going out into Venruki. Frost Shot on to Borngood in the background into a Deep Freeze. Venruki just desperately trying to get out of line of sight of these wizards for now. He knows where his advantage is, and it's not right here.
It was a good paralyze onto Jamili to break up the polymorphs from Venruki. Fist of Fury onto Peekaboo. Elite gets gripped into it, but they stop the fist right before it. Borngood follows it up with a Hodge instead. Massive Spell comes out from Peekaboo to remove that, though. Elite should be able to kite away with his Avenging Wrath up, and Venruki and Borngood know that the kill is lost. They're going to retreat back to the pillar. Tempo Storm going to try and punish Mez for being the only player in center field. He's going to trade that AMS out to deal with that incoming magic damage. Now going back to the pillar here. Frozen Orb gets dropped. Jamili wants to pull the trigger. Deep Freeze onto Borngood, looking for that polymorph. Venruki going to shut it down with the fist, but Jamili still got the sheep. Still a lot of pressure on the Peekaboo, down at 40%. Elite with no more Avenging Wrath. He does use that stone form to get out of that silence. A full fear now onto Borngood. Bubble still available. Touch of Karma goes out onto Elite, maybe trying to bait his bubble on this for a kill later on, but Elite's not falling for the bait. He's going to hold on to that Karma. Chi Burst following up onto Jamili, getting Blood Elf silence there for a couple seconds. Borngood moving forward. Full Hodge over onto Elite. Are they going to swap? Mez unable to connect at the moment. Venruki trying to push forward as well. Avenging Wrath coming out from Borngood, and Method Orange have somehow kind of flipped the cooldowns on their head at this point. Borngood has his trinket for this polymorph. He needs to do something to react to the damage, but they break it with the Ice Nova. Luckily there, Jamili was able to follow it up with a resheep, but Method Orange are going to stabilize here at the pillar defensively. Still a full fear on Borngood, full Hodge onto Venruki. What does he have to deal with this? Not very much. Borngood gets a Dispel in between the CC, and Tempo Storm kind of dropping the ball here.
Yeah, Peekaboo just taking a whole bunch of pressure. Method Orange finding their windows to do damage and taking them, and just really pushing Tempo Storm back over and over and over again. Venruki constantly that kill target for Tempo Storm, is constantly just trying to line a sight here and rotate through that Touch of Karma, and he's doing a great job. So far, Borngood and Venruki are doing a great job synergizing with each other and just staying alive, but Tempo Storm's cross CC is bananas. Here we go. It looks like Peekaboo and Jamili are going to be pushing in. Peekaboo has that fear, but I believe it was stolen by Mez, but is it even gonna matter? Venruki getting hodged up. Save of the Light gonna be used as well, but Borngood's bubble is just spam healing through this. Now they're swapping that damage over onto Peekaboo. Silence onto Elite. DJ Peekaboo taking a bit of pressure as Venruki nearly died there without Touch of Karma.
Mez stole a fear and triple feared everyone right when Venruki was surely going to go down. So Mez carrying his team right there in that moment. Venruki playing back defensively now with Borngood. No trinkets, no nibble for 14 seconds. Mez getting swapped over to. He's going to be forced to AMS. He's got that Icebound Fortitude up, reducing a lot of damage. Actually, a full Hodge over onto Borngood. They're looking to end this onto Venruki right here and now. He's got Touch of Karma available. Bop is still available for Elite. He's trying to bait the bubble again out from Elite, and that Touch of Karma is a little bit preemptive, and Elite's, again, not going to fall for the bait. He's just going to hold on to his bubble. Fist of Fury over onto Peekaboo. Mez down to half HP. They could commit to Mez. He's got no AMS, no IBF. And they see it, the opportunity to kill Mez. Mez sees it as well. He's going to line of sight, use that AMS, try and stay alive a little bit longer. Deep Freeze over onto Borngood. Jamili going to trinket out of that Paralyze to try and follow it up. He doesn't get the follow-up sheep, though. Mez trying to stay alive here and reconnect onto Peekaboo. Peekaboo dragging him out into the open, looking for a massive spell on that Hodge. He does get it. Peekaboo still down at half HP. The Pillar of Frost from Mez doing a lot of damage at the moment. Trinket available for Venruki. He's going to be feeling a little bit more safe because of that. We can see Elite actually the target here, stuck in the middle of the map with both melee just cleaving away. Fist of Fury to follow it up onto Elite. Borngood throwing out some denounces. Polymorph onto Venruki to slow down some of this damage. Another massive spell out from Peekaboo. Full Hodge onto Venruki. He needs to react quickly here. He's going to Nimble Brew out of the Hodge, portal behind the pillar, and heal himself back up. Good reactions from Venruki to stay alive here. Elite going to stone form out of that Strangulate. Trinket on CD here for 30 more seconds. Venruki still alone though. Forced the leg sweep here defensively, trying to stay alive. Ice Nova connects. Venruki gets locked on his heel. Borngood still polyed up with no way out. Just Saved by the Light is going to proc. Borngood pops the Ore Mastery, pops the Avenging Wrath. He keeps his team in the game a little bit longer, and finally dampening, kicking in. Maybe Method Orange can make something happen here on offense.
This is crazy, man. Method Orange is making something happen. Peekaboo taking a whole bunch of pressure. Elite pushing in with that Hand of Sacrifice on to DJ Peekaboo. Mez just wants to get that pressure out with that Pillar of Frost. He's just going to get cloned up on it. Hodge goes out into Venruki, deep onto Borngood in the background. Venruki's in a lot of trouble. He's going to go ahead and press that Touch of Karma, but Elite's going to go ahead and bubble it. He thought that was the kill, but Venruki's just going to pour it away. This could be a big deal. This could be the setup for Elite, and Venruki knows it. Jamili pushing in as well, catching a couple denounces from Borngood whenever he can. He's using those globals well. DJ Peekaboo being put into that Hodge, but it's just going to be dispelled by Elite at this point. There's the sap onto Elite as well. Jamili Saved by the Light's going to proc. The full stun goes out into Elite. He's going to trinket wings, but the block was forced regardless out from Jamili and Method Orange. They're making something happen with this new strategy of theirs.
Yeah, and maybe they're trying to play into Jamili's weaknesses here. He hates turtling players. He hates people that hug the pillar. So maybe they're just trying to put Jamili on tilt a little bit. At the
Dude,
box.
next level strats, man.
Do you think he's getting angry?
And you know he's getting angry. I mean, Venruki and Jamili, they go back at this point, but you know, this pillar mindset is not what Tempo Storm likes to face off against. Mez taking a whole bunch of pressure at this point. Triple fear from Peekaboo going out onto Venruki and Born Good. Mez all alone. Hodge onto Venruki. Horrify onto Mez. Full polymorph lands on the Born Good. Silence onto Mez. This has got to be it. Save of the Light proccing as well as the AMS. And Venruki switching over to a Mistweaver there for a brief second. Healing Mez up through that setup. And they're going to survive yet another setup. Dipping it deeper into dampening. 15% dampening. Ven's going to just go in and get the leg sweep onto DJ Peekaboo. Elite getting gripped into that full fist of fury. DJ Peekaboo could be in a bit of trouble as Elite's put into the Hodge out of that now, but the fear, the defensive fear from Peekaboo is going to fear up the entire team of Method Orange. Now Venruki on the back being put into that full Hodge. He does have that Karma as soon as this Hodge ends. Full polymorph is going to land on the Born Good. He goes and he Karma's Elite and he's just going to bop himself out of it. That's the last bop for Elite for a while, and Ven's just going to port back, but is he going to be able to survive through the CC chain on the Born Good? Hand of Sacrifice comes out from Born Good onto Venruki, and it looks like Tempo Storm isn't going to be pushing in just yet, and we're dipping lower into dampening, 20% at this point.
The thing about dampening is Mez's healing is going to go down, Venruki's healing is going to go down, and Born Good's healing is going to go down as well. So full fear over onto Born Good, another setup onto Venruki. Born Good needs to save him here. He is going to trinket out and dispel, but he trinkets into a full polymorph. Saved by the Light's going to get shredded. Venruki trying to cut away and stay alive. Strangulate over onto Peekaboo. He's going to trinket that to finish Venruki off. Venruki's going to paralyze Peekaboo. Mez grips him away. He's holding on to dear life at the moment. A full Horrify comes out. He's going to Nimble Brew and portal to the other side. Jamili sees it. He's going to blink and counterspell him. Defreeze now onto Born Good. How is Venruki still alive here, down at 52% HP? Born Good finally no longer crowd controlled, able to cast some heals. Mez getting swapped over onto. He's got his AMS available, but that was the kill opportunity for Tempo Storm. Born Good's going to have his bubble up in about 6 more seconds. They need to make something happen quick here. Maybe they can punish them for the overextension. Elite gets gripped in. They're going to go after him, but he lands the full Hodge on Venruki. Born Good's going to bubble. They swap over onto Mez. Saved by the Light's going to proc. He's down to 30% HP. He has AMS remaining. They're going on offense on Elite here. Elite trying to drag both these guys into the center field here to tee off. Mez still down at 50%, holding on to that AMS, playing it smart, saving that cooldown for when Born Good gets crowd controlled. We can see Venruki taking Elite's pillar, but Elite just constantly rotating into the center of the map. He knows that Venruki's vulnerable there. They're going to set up onto Mez. There's the Horrify. He's been saving his cooldowns for this specific moment. He's going to trinket AMS. He's going to survive as a result, and now another setup is down. Method Orange have a few seconds here to try and make something happen.
You got to think that Method Orange went into this game having a strategy, knowing what it is that they're going to be going up against. And so far, it's working quite well. Mez popping his offensive cooldowns, but Born Good is the one who's taking all the damage. He's going to use that wall save, but that's going to proc. But now Venruki and Mez are just trying to pump the damage out onto Peekaboo, forcing him out and all across the entire map. 30% dampening at this point. And you gotta think, can Tempo Storm continue to heal through the onslaught that is the Windwalker DK? There's a stun going out onto Elite. Jamili now the kill target. He's going to cold snap now. He has that block available to him, but Mez is in trouble. Venruki is stunned up. Mez dipping lower and lower. That Devouring Plague going out. Saved by the Light being procced as well. Kenching denounces as well. Leg sweep goes out onto Jamili. He's going to trinket out of that and push in and try to get that full CC over on the Born Good, but it's not going to land. And all of a sudden, Born Good is not in any CC and healing Mez through all of this pressure. That was Icy Veins from Jamili as well, and it looks like DJ Peekaboo and Jamili want to push in. They want to get the kill right here. Fear goes out on the Born Good. Mez is in a lot of trouble. Born Good going to get out of that fear with his trinket, but going to land in that full polymorph. I'm not sure how it broke, but now a half polymorph going out, and Mez's AMS is going to come off a cooldown just in the nick of time.
Yeah, the Cascade from Peekaboo actually broke the polymer. Mez still in trouble, though. He's easily going to go down. He's at a 2%. IBF, I'm not sure if it was available there for a few more seconds. Unfortunately, not able to stay alive long enough, and even playing it for dampening. I mean, staying alive to 36% dampening is a pretty good feat in itself against this comp specifically for their team. So, I mean, maybe like a bit of the early parts of the game and the mid part of the game didn't really go in their favor, but I just don't think playing this composition into that composition is going to be the right decision moving forward in the series. I mean, yeah, they're going to be playing alts, but still, we haven't seen any Windwalker DK Holy Paladin be successful against Holy Paladin Shatter.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's something that you should talk about a little bit, is that in previous tournaments, I mean, we saw this Windwalker DK composition come out, and they facing these Holy Paladin God comps or Holy Paladin Mage compositions. It seems like it's very, very difficult, but I have to say that was a very, very close game. It could have gone either way.
Turtle all day.
Turtle all day, idiot. All right, we're going to be jumping into game number 2 here, and that means that Method Orange is going to have the ability to lock in their map see what composition their opponent's playing, and then lock in their own composition. So they have that opportunity to counter if they feel like they're confident enough in those alternate classes to do just that. I mean, SSDS, he normally plays a hunter, but he plays a shaman at a very high level. But Venruki would not be playing, and it would be Mez on a warrior and Born Good on a healer. So that'd be pretty intense. Thank you so much for that subscription, guys. I really do appreciate all the support you guys send our way at GCD TV. Those subscriptions really help make the dream a reality. I really appreciate it, everybody. But we're going to be jumping into the next game very shortly. And, yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect going into game number 2 here.
I think I should try one game with Turbo.
Waiting on map choice. I mean, yeah, it is a best of 5. They do have that ability going into it, but I was talking to Ven the other day, and he's like, yeah, I might not have the best bracket in the world, but I have the power of positive thinking, and you just got to respect that, you know. But at the same time, Tempo Storm, they've been playing together for a long time now. They qualified all the way back in the summer in August, and they've been playing all through regionals, all through the online qualifiers, and even into BlizzCon. So these guys have been playing with each other quite well, and even before that, they've been playing with each other. Jamili and Peekaboo, Victorious were playing with each other, but they're so skilled individually. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure, playing an alternate composition against some of the best players in North America. I can't wait to see what happens next. Oh.
I'm curious to see if they switch the comps at all. I really hope they do. I don't know. I mean, Venruki might be playing in alt, SSDS might be playing in alt, but Peekaboo's also playing in alt. I don't know, like...
Oh, you think we'll see Venruki on a druid instead of a holy paladin on Born Good?
You don't think the paladin would be smarter than the druid?
That's an alt-tastic comp right there.
It doesn't matter. I think. I mean, that's the whole point of like the 4-player roster and like learning how to multi-comp and stuff. So why not just try it? I mean, this is like, it's still, even though like there's money on the line and stuff, it's still just a friendly tournament. You can still try things out and see how they play. Like maybe they're the next SK Gaming. Who knows?
Who knows?
You don't know unless you try, right?
It's true. And I believe in these guys. Here we go. We're gonna jump into Tiger's Peak, guys. Welcome everybody to Tiger's Peak. It's Method Orange versus Tempo Storm. Game number 2. Looks like Method Orange is going to stick to their main composition for now. They're going to run that Windwalker DK Holy Paladin team, but they're bringing it to Tiger's Peak. Not really a map that has an advantage for either team, I'd say, but I don't know. Maybe they think that they can pull this strategy off against this God comp, but now they're not going to necessarily. I don't know. What do you think's going to happen, man?
I wonder, like, I feel like having a Resto Druid instead of a Holy Paladin on your team with the Windwalker DK would be so much better. You'd have Fairy Fire for Peekaboo, so you can't sneak in for those fears. You'd always have Hots. I feel like the Holy Paladin's really a significant weakness. We see setup on a Venruki, but Jamili not able to get the polymorph. Venruki able to shut him down, but Peekaboo's there for the fear to follow it up. Orify on a Venruki. It could be an early kill onto him. Frostjaw over on a Born Good. He's going to Aura Mastery out. Touch of Karma gets bopped immediately. Strangulate on Elite. He's going to Stone Form out. Venruki left in the dark here. Born Good trying to keep him alive. Spamming out some denounces now, trying to rotate some pressure onto Jamili. Mez with a few more seconds of that pillar. Frost trying to capitalize. Unable to. Not going to be leaving their pillar. Turtle all day. Round 2. Tiger's Peak.
Round 2, Tiger's Peak, Devouring Plate going out on Mez, and Tempo Storm just teeing off on Mez on whatever target they actually can. Peekaboo looks like he's going to go in and try to get a fear on the Born Good. He feels it. He knows it's coming. He's going to get feared regardless. Sap goes out onto Jamili from Venruki. He knows he's in trouble as that fear lands, but he's going to go and run away for now, leaving Mez exposed. But Mez is a Live Lord. We all know that. Mez is the one who they're setting up now at this point, taking a whole bunch of pressure. Save by the Light's going to proc, or not proc on him, I'm sorry. That was AMS. There's a set half polymorph going out onto Born Good as Venruki joins the fray once again, CCing up Elite for now. It looks like they might be going on Elite, as Elite is pushed in pretty far.
Yeah, Mez down to 28%. Born Good forced to pop that Avenging Wrath. Execution Sentence, that's going to top off Mez, but now it's no longer available for Venruki if they choose to swap. Born Good caught into a fear. They are going to swap onto Venruki. He's trying to get back to the pillar here. No Trinket, no Nimble. Born Good caught into the Deep Freeze, lands the full Polymorph. Trinket's the Polymorph right away, trying to get some heals rolling here onto Venruki, who's dangerously low. Now a Silence over onto Born Good. Venruki still dangerously low. Goes for the Zen Meditation. I think he got counterspelled immediately. Strangulate onto Elite. He's going to Ore Mastery, forcing the Dispersion out of Peekaboo. Fist of Fury now onto Elite. They can swap some damage over to him as well. Try and put him behind. Now into the half Hodge. He's going to use that wall. Unfortunately, they actually weren't connecting there, so they get the wall kind of for free from Elite if they want to make a swap later on. But I think forcing that Dispersion really means that they're going to commit to Peekaboo.
Yeah, Venruki's Karma is now back off a cooldown. I love how he always gets at least a pop out of that Karma. There's a Hodge going out onto Venruki, and it looks like Mez is actually going to be the kill target for most of this game. Born Good being put into that Deep Freeze, now into the full Polymorph. Elite getting stunned up here, but Mez is in a whole bunch of trouble. Saber the Light's going to proc, and he's just going to desperately try to line his sight here as he was silenced up there for a brief moment. Venruki's going to jump right back onto Peekaboo, put him into a Fist of Fury, and get him off his DK for now. Born Good just not catching a break, it would seem, and there we go. The double fear goes out onto Venruki and Born Good. Gonna force the bubble here, keeping Mez alive for now. But Hodge going out onto Elite, and Peekaboo's gonna try to Master Spell it. He's gonna land the Master Spell to get Elite out of that stun. And I don't know. Did Mez actually steal that? I don't know. Mez stole something, and I'm interested to see what.
They really needed to get something out of that with that Hodge and Elite on the Peekaboo, but Venruki wasn't able to connect. Actually choosing to Nimble Brew, trying to get back to the pillar. Born Good actually got locked out on a heal from Jamili. Now caught into the Deep Freeze. Do they have the Polymorph to follow it up? Paralyzed onto Jamili, now into the legs, so trying to deny that sheep. Jamili going to block here. A full fear onto Born Good, looking for that Polymorph, gets fisted on it. Venruki doing a good job to shut Jamili down here. Born Good should be able to heal through the rest of this pressure. A 1 second Hodge to try and stop the sheep. Strangulate over onto Elite, but Elite actually was able to sit that. Now still damage following up onto Mez. They get the full sheep regardless. Mez in a lot of trouble here with no cooldowns remaining, getting bursted down by Jamili. He pops the Lichborn, trying to get whatever little bit of healing he can get right now. Venruki getting hodged up, 3v1 onto Mez, and he's gonna go down. And Born Good still just getting CC'd, and I still can't help but feel like I've seen this matchup so many times, and it's never been favorable for the Windwalker DK Holy Paladin. It's kind of like you're just running into a wall, banging your head against the wall, hoping that you can win.
You know, I think at this point, the power of positive thinking is definitely there. We can see that they're putting up a fight, but I don't know, man. I want to see a different composition coming out from Method Orange if they're going to continue to face this Holy Pally God comp. I think the Windwalker DK just doesn't have the composition advantage this time around.
I want to see the Venruki.
You want to see the VRKI?
He even has a T-shirt for it, doesn't he?
He does, VRKI. It's actually one of my favorite T-shirts of his. And seeing his Resto Druid come out would definitely be a pleasure, but we're going to have to find out. They might want to just bring it back. They could just be fooling us. They could just be saying, oh, no, we could have won this whole time.
I don't think they're fooling us. I don't think you play a 13-minute game and lose and say that you're trying to fool people.
Like, oh, I was just trolling. Don't worry about it. Seriously, don't worry about it.
Everyone in chat would hate them for doing that to us.
Alright guys, we're going to wait for those choices coming out from these guys, and then we're going to go into potentially the last game of the series. It's a best of 5, and Method Orange is down at 0-2 against Tempo Storm, which consists of Tempo Storm, Peekaboo, Jamili, Starship, and Elite.
We all know Jamili's direct weakness is shamans and pillars.
Is it?
So if SSDS goes on a shaman, they have a little bit more of an edge.
It's true. It's definitely true. I have to say, Jamili is getting more and more patient. I mean, that game we saw the offensive block coming out, but...
I try to imagine their Skype call where if like Peekaboo and Elite just like, it's okay, Jaw, it's okay. We're going to win in like it's like a minute. Just calm down, calm down. No, I want to kill the Holy Paladin. Go now. Like, it's like holding back. It's like holding back a bull.
You got to admire Jamili's tenacity, though. You really do. He's just like, no, time to block this stun, and we're killing right now. Right now. Like, that game, he blocked, but he knew he was completely A-okay in that block. He knew that he had the offensive pressure and stuff like that, and I don't know, man. We're gonna find out going into the next game here very, very shortly, guys. Again, it's Tempo Storm versus Method Orange. Then after this, guys, we have Method Black versus Wadstar Hip Hop. Then after that, we have 20 from the Bronx to the loser of this series. That's all happening next. Now, guys, today's games are going all the way to the second round of the upper bracket. And tomorrow we're going to pick back up and go all the way to the finals. So make sure you are tuning in here at GCD TV at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So hit that follow button, guys, so you are notified when we go live. And I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that follow button. If you like what you see here, if you like the work that we're putting in to the tournament scene. Because we do these bi-weekly, these GPL tournaments. Also, of course, please follow my caster, Super Tease, on Twitter, so you are notified when he goes live as well. Super Tease, have you been streaming at all lately, dude?
I streamed last night. I played with Maldiva and Vincent Wong, and we had fun.
Wait, would you play? Did you play Boomkin?
Yeah, we played LSD2.
Oh, well, how's LSD2 doing? Current season.
It wasn't that bad. I don't know. It was okay.
It was all right. Okay.
It was okay. I convinced them that it was better than FLS against Windwalker DK. I'm making progress here. Maldiva is I have to like convince him that Moonkin is good because he doesn't want to play because he doesn't think it's good. So I have to like slowly convince him that it's good.
So what would be the advantages of playing Moonkin versus a Feral Druid? It'd be like burst damage versus like consistent pressure, for layman's terms, for us noobs.
I think it's just the roots. You get way more roots. Like against Cleaves, I feel like Moonkin is better than Feral against Cleaves. Just because you have so many roots, so many slows. You're also ranged, so you're never stacked up to eat like AoE stuns or any potential off kicks. You can go and CC the healer without losing any damage because you just turn around and start moonfiring again instantly. So having the ranged, having the roots helps you deal with Cleaves a lot better than the Feral Druid version.
All right, the map choice has been locked in. Thank you for that, by the way, because I am playing more and more of a Boomkin. Dalaran is going to be the map choice, and the composition is going to be the same for Method Orange, but they're going to be swapping it over onto a Turbo. Oh, baby, I'll see you guys in the map in just a hot minute. Right? Yeah? Can we queue? All right, we'll see you guys in a hot minute. All right, everybody, welcome to Dalaran Sewers. As you can see, we have the VRKI on that Restoration Druid, Shaman SSDS Jr. on that Enhancement Shaman, and Mez on the Arms Warrior to face off against Tempo Storm's Holy Pally God Cop. Now, this Turbo Cleave is not their mains. Mez is mostly known for playing a Death Knight, Benruki playing a Frost Mage, and SSDS originally was a Hunter, but now he's been playing a whole bunch of Enhancement Shaman. But that being said, normally Turbo Cleave has a better shot at beating God Comp than Windwalker DK. You can say that.
I believe in them.
You believe in them?
I believe in the power of friendship.
Teamwork and friendship. Here we go, boys. The gates have opened, and right away, SSDS is pushing in with his Fire Elemental. SSDS catching a few denounces as well, as looks like Temple Storm is just getting ready, getting those icicles and everything good to go. And Method Orange is playing it pretty safe, playing pretty slow at this point. They don't want to overextend. They want them to come to them, it would seem.
I think it's smart. We can see Peekaboo moving forward to try and get a fear. Venruki pre-shifting the Deep Freeze. Hodge onto SSDS. He's actually just going to trade the Shamanistic Rage, playing very safe there. I wasn't 100% on that Shaman Rage. Venruki actually getting feared there. SSDS getting a Trinket and Tremor and is playing very ahead of the game. Mez getting swapped over to. Got to be a little bit careful here. Now that they've traded the cooldowns out, they need to get something done with it, but they're not leaving the box at the moment here. SSDS could be exposed for the next setup. Venruki desperately trying to pick him up, dropping down those 3 Trents, trying to get a little bit more healing. We see the Ancestral Guidance now out from SSDS, trying to get a little bit of extra healing. He's just unable to connect on anything. Pre-Ironbark out from Venruki, trying to predict Jamili's Deep Freeze. Jamili, smartly enough, holding onto that Deep Freeze position very far back, waiting for that Ironbark to go down. They could easily get Venruki's Trinket here on the next setup. Maybe they're going to swap to Mez. Mez fully hotted at the moment here. Full Fear onto Venruki. Nice Tremor out from SSDS is going to remove that CC. Peekaboo is isolated back here from pushing in. Can they punish him? Jamili blinks in, goes for the Deep Freeze. Can he connect the Sheep? He gets interrupted on the Sheep, but he lands the Ring of Frost. Venruki really needs to save SSDS. SSDS right here. Silence on the SSDS. He's trying to pick him back up. Rallying Cry follows it up. Can they break up the CC? Shamanistic Rage coming off CD just in time. SSDS popping the Ascendance to try and rotate some counter pressure. Jamili in full retreat. Peekaboo now in full retreat as Mez pops his Recklessness Bladestorm as well. Elite doing a good job to heal through this, holding on to all of his cooldowns throughout that Recklessness and Ascendance.
Yeah, Shaman SSDS using that Shamanistic Rage as soon as it's off cooldown just leads me to know that Tempo Storm is getting the buttons. They're getting a whole bunch of them. Peekaboo going into Venriki trying to land that full fear, but he's actually going to get Storm Bolted by Mez, and Venriki's just sitting in that bear form. He's like, nope, you can't swap over onto me. Jamili's going to push in, though, try to get the CC going out onto Venriki. Hodge goes out on SSDS, and the full fear is going to land. SSDS now caught into the Horrify out of this. This is the orb coming out from Jamili. They want to set it up here. The Deep Freeze goes out into Venriki. Can they land the Ring of Frost? It looks like Mez is not going to let Jamili land that Ring of Frost. Not today, however. There's the Iron Bark going out, and SSDS's Devouring Blade connects onto him as well. Elite also getting those denounces in, but going to get Storm Bolted up for now. And it looks like they're just going to pull back and hit Elite. They're not going to push out. They're not going to leave themselves exposed. And I have to say, even though it looks very, very passive, this is the way that Method Orange needs to play if they want to continue to take Tempo Storm as turbo.
Yeah, at the start of the game, it looked like Method Orange was a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe they were kind of lacking some confidence here. They need to find their thunder, because Turbo Cleave can accomplish quite a lot here against Holy Pound and Godcom. Now forcing the Avenging Wrath. SSDS sees that. Mez sees that. They're trying to retreat back. They know the setup is coming here very shortly. There's the Pet Nova, going to trigger the Blink, Deep Freeze into the Sheep. Jamili looking for the Ring of Frost, gets Storm Bolted. Nice shutdown from Mez. Venriki should be able to get some healing rolling here. Now into the full fear. I don't know if SSDS, he does have a Tremor, drops the Tremor, trades the Shaman Rage, and now with this Shaman Rage, they need to stay offensive. They need to do as much damage as possible while they are immune to death here for a few more seconds. Jamili down at half HP, trying to build up some pressure here. Elite getting locked out there by the wind shear. Could be a block out from Jamili. He's pulling back though very far, spamming these defensive polymorphs, doing a good job. And Method Orange not going to be overextending here with no Shamanistic Rage. They don't want to risk anything.
Yep, pulling right back. Oh, with that no Shamanistic Rage. Venriki does have that Trinket and Iron Bark available for a Shaman on the next setup, but the fear is going to land on Venriki. He's in bear form, not eligible for that polymorph, but the ring is always a possibility. Deep Freeze goes out into Venriki, but the Ring of Frost is going to land as well. Shaman SSDS has no Shamanistic Rage, and that's going to force Venriki's Trinket and Iron Bark onto SSDS, and Venriki sitting in that bear form. He does not want to get polymorphed, not today, however, and Jamili's just chasing down Venriki, constantly looking for that CC, but it looks like Method Orange is going to survive another setup once again.
Yeah, that was a good play from Venriki to Trinket. That was the setup that his team needed him to save them for. Now the next setup, SSDS, will be the one that they rely on. Elite getting pressured very hard. Forced to pop his Aura Mastery here and the Shield Wall, trying to cast some heals. Still unable to deal with it. Silence over onto SSDS. Full fear onto Venriki. Shamanistic Rage down to 35%. They need to stop this polymorph potentially onto Venriki. He pre-shifts the Deep. I don't think he's got the Ring of Frost, and he's in bear. He's able to stop the Sheep himself here. Still just spamming it. Now kiting in that bear form. Line of sighting the polymorphs. Shaman Rage is fading. Trying to get some hots over onto SSDS right now. With no Shaman Rage, he's got to be careful here. Mez has no Trinket. Venriki has no Trinket. The next Deep Freeze setup could be the game here for Tempo Storm to take.
Yeah, it could be. There's a Stormbolt going out onto Elite. Jamili getting chunked down a little bit, but they're going to pull back. SSDS in a lot of trouble. Devouring Plate coming out. Iron Bark being used on Venriki, but he has no Trinket available to him or Nature's Swiftness. Is this going to be it? Iron Bark is it. Ascendance is being used. He's desperately trying to heal himself through this, but doesn't even matter as Venriki is put into the full ring. Horrify goes out into SSDS. He's so low. Rallying Cry coming out as well. Venriki still in CC, but SSDS is live regardless. Peekaboo being put into a Stormbolt, and Mez's Peels is helping so much. Rallying Cry fades. Devouring Plate connects. Venriki put into a silence, but is the CC gonna end? Finally, Shamanistic Rage comes off a cooldown. He presses it as soon as he possibly can. Fear lands over onto just SSDS, it would seem. Venriki not put into that fear. It might be the saving grace that Shaman SSDS needed to stay alive throughout all of that.
They are surviving defensively, but they're just not doing enough damage to get anything on offense. Still 2 blocks, Dispersion, Avenging Wrath, Trinket on Elite. Method Orange really need to find something going here on offense if they want to turn this game around. SSDS here at full HP, fully hotted behind the pillar, staying out of line of sight, knows that he's very exposed at the moment.
Yeah, for now. Iron Bar coming back off of Venriki at this point, but I think that these guys aren't going to be pushing in until we see dampening, and then they're going to be pushing in. But SSDS just getting chunked down. There's the fear going out onto Venriki, but I believe it was tremored by SSDS preemptively. Horrify going out on SSDS as well. Peekaboo and Jamili want to get something done here. They get the Iron Bark from Venriki, and they're constantly pushing in, but every time they get pushed in, they just get pushed back as well. But now Mez is caught with a Hodge out in the middle of the map. Venriki being put into the silence. This is going to be it for Mez. Mez dipping down so low. Going to catch the Nature Swiftness from Venriki. Heroic leap out of line of sight for now, and they get their warrior friend back behind the pillar. on Dalaran Sewer, but we're at 9% dampening at this point. This could get serious very, very soon. The Stormbolt goes out into Peekaboo, who's going to trinket out of that. Elite getting sheared on that heal. Shaman SSDS is taking a whole bunch of pressure as Mez is put into that polymorph. No peels for his Shaman friend yet. Peekaboo, I think, wants to go for a Fear here. He's looking for it. He's looking for the opportunity. 10% dampening. This could be it. Fear lands onto Venriki. SSDS is the kill target. He's going to preemptively Shamanistic Rage all of this damage. Venriki in that bear form, so he has to get caught in that Ring of Frost, but it looks like Mez and SSDS is going to push back Tempo Storm for now.
Yeah, Method Orange again, they're rotating their cooldowns very well and effectively. They're doing a good job on defense, but again, still on offense, they need to start burning through some cooldowns here because dampening is going to backfire for them. SSDS's healing is going to lower, Venruki's healing is going to get lower. Full Hodge onto SSDS. Someone needs to trinket in this setup. Full Ring of Frost onto Venruki. SSDS caught into the Horrify. Trinkets right out of that. Pops the Ancestral Guidance, trying to get a little bit of extra healing here. Double Fear onto the DPS. Well done from Mez here, trying to break up some of that CC. Silence on the SSDS, trying to deny the Tremor Totem. I'm not even sure if he has it. Still a lot of pressure on SSDS. Throws himself that Dren Rachel trying to get a little bit of extra healing. Ironbark out from Venruki. Now into that 1 second polymorph. He needs to pick him back up. And after they recover, they need to push. They need to start doing a lot of damage right here. Jamili down at half HP, trying to pressure Peekaboo as well. Elite coming out of that bash. Peekaboo and Jamili finally taking a bit of heat here. Elite popping that Avenging Wrath, picking himself back up here pretty shortly. Dampening starting to stack up though. Elite trying to deal with faking that winch here, potentially from SSDS. Mez and SSDS not able to connect, but they've got their trinkets, they've got their Shaman Rage. This would be the perfect time to push in about 10 more seconds.
Yeah, 10 more seconds, that's their opportunity, but is Tempo Storm even going to give them that? As they push in, they always get defensive cooldowns. They are just relentless against Method Orange, and they know they have to be. They know they have to be the aggressors and get those defensive cooldowns and not let it go too deep into dampening, at least not for a cost. And here we go, SSDS trying to push in a little bit, it would seem, but he doesn't want to overextend. Looks like he's going to be going for it. Mez pushing in right behind him as well. Venruki sitting on that pillar in a good position for now. Peekaboo is probably going to be going out for a Fear very shortly. There's the Hodge on the SSDS. The Shamanistic Rage is going to be used. Venruki desperately trying to line a sight here. Ring of Frost going down as Venruki is put into that bear form. Ring of Frost is going to land. His Shamanistic Rage is up for 5 more seconds, but is it going to be enough to heal through all of this damage? The Horrify, the Aura of the Devouring Plague going out as well. Peekaboo just teeing off on SSDS is going to catch the Ironbark as well. He's just trying to heal himself through that, but like you said, we're at 23% dampening, and that doesn't just affect the turbo. Or I'm sorry, the God Comp, but also the turbo. The Ironbark going to fade, and Mez pushing in, trying to get offensive. Looks like they're swapping it over onto Elite at this point. He's going to go ahead and use his wall and Aura Mastery, and SSDS and Mez are going to be pulling back as he's taking a whole bunch of pressure at this point, dipping down to 50% health here. It's going to go line of sight and reset back up once again at 25% dampening.
Yeah, SSDS a little bit reluctant to leave the pillar here. No Shaman Rage for about 10 more seconds. Playing very safe here. They force the Dispersion. They force the Avenging Wrath. Now pulling back. We see Peekaboo running forward, looking for a Fear on Venruki. Lands that full Hodge on SSDS. He's going to Trinket and Tremor him out. Deep Freeze now over on Venruki. Jamili needs to land this Ring of Frost. Not able to get it. Mez once again shutting him down with the charge stun. SSDS popping the Ancestral Guidance, trying to get some healing, but he gets a sheep for free. Venruki not seen, not able to shift in time. Shamanistic Rage is forced out of SSDS as a result. Full Fear onto Elite. Actually getting his Trinket there, basically for free. Stormbolt over onto Peekaboo, choosing to sit through that as they swap over onto Mez here. Mez got to be a little bit careful. He's got Die by the Sword. He's got Trinket. He's got the cooldowns to deal with this. He needs to respond. Popping the regen heal. Ironbark out from Venruki, but now the Ironbark isn't available for SSDS. They can make an easy swap and get an easy kill here. Venruki's got to be careful with this next CC. Deep Freeze definitely needs to be his Trinket if this Polymorph lands. They get the Master Reflect off. Jamili gets Stormbolted. Mez once again shutting Jamili down. Venruki getting back to the pillar. SSDS recovering now as well, but dampening is starting to stack here slowly but surely, and eventually Tempo Storm's burst is going to be insurmountable for SSDS to survive.
Yeah, I mean, that burst is scary and deep dampening. Tempo Storm is scary without there. But Shaman SSDS is taking a whole bunch of damage. Devouring Plague going out. The Rallying Cry as well. But is it going to be enough to keep him alive? There's the Nature Swiftness, but he's still at 2% health. The Fear goes out in Venruki, and the Rallying Cry fades, and down goes SSDS. Tempo Storm taking game number 3 in this best of 5 series against Method Orange at 34% dampening.
Yeah, defensively, I think they played really well, but I don't, just because they're not used to playing the comp, I don't think they know like what they can get away with, like on offense, like when they can leave the pillar and when they can't leave the pillar, because it looked like they were just glued onto it the entire game. And in this matchup specifically, you don't want to be glued like that the entire time. There are certain points where it's like you need to be glued to it. Then outside of that, you need to kind of be greedy and try and push for damage, because dampening will backfire in your face if it stacks up to that point.
Yeah, and as you saw, we just saw it. So there we go. Tempo Storm going to continue on in the upper bracket, and Method Orange is going to dip to the lower one as well. Alrighty. We're going to be jumping into the next series, guys, and this is the lower bracket now at this point, and that means that these teams have lost once before, and if they lose again, they will be eliminated completely.